Hey guys, before we get into today's episode, I want to share with you about something I am hugely excited to announce, and that is the upcoming launch of the newest and best group coaching program that has ever come out of Overcoming Graduation called Master Your Day. This program is going to be a 3-month group coaching program focused on helping you not just achieve your goals, but to create enjoyable days, moments, and experiences on the way to those goals. As I've spent the past few years studying, researching, reading about, watching videos about creating a dream life, I've realized it is not the creation of, this massive thing comes together and that one big goal and then life becomes good afterwards as a result. It is a conscious creation day to day, moment to moment. So some of the questions I started to ask were, how do we do that? How do we create a dream day? How do we create a dream life? And how do we start to build the habits and the routines in those days so that we can have consistency in saying, I know I'm working towards my goals, I'm connecting with the people that are important, I'm taking care of my body, and I am getting things done. This program is all about that. We're going to go deep into mindset, identities, values, and how our identity shapes the way we show up in the world. Then we'll dive into goal setting, the most effective goal setting tips, tactics, tools, and strategies I have ever found to help you get clear on what you want and what your empowering why is. There are so many things that people will say about, set the right goal, it'll take you here. But if you don't have an empowering why underlying that, why are you doing this? Something you can check in with when things get really hard. That will be one of your biggest downfalls. It's something I've experienced. It's something I've seen. And when I have that why behind it, it changes the game. So that why discovery session is going to be one of the first and most important parts of this program. We're then going to go into habits because now we've got our why, we've got our values, we've got our goals, we've mapped out how we want to be pursuing these things. But how do we actually get rid of the bad habits and maintain the good ones? And not only maintain them, how do we implement new good ones? And how do we enhance them over time? Because the next section talks about efficiency and effectiveness. So now we've got our habits and routines. Now we've got our values. We're clear on our why. But how do we get better and better at doing the things that lift us up, make us most productive, and help us share our gift with the world? And the best part is you won't be doing this alone. You'll have me as the coach and guide leading you through this process, but you will also be surrounded by a group of incredible individuals who are doing the same work, who are working on the same things and want to share that journey with you. They're going to support you. You're going to support them. You'll be connected. And the whole way through, we're going to make sure that you're taking step toward your goals. You're dreaming bigger. You're acting bigger than you ever have. And you are demonstrating to yourself that the person that you have always wanted to be has been waiting there inside for you to unveil. That's what this program's about. I want to help you, and I want to get on a call with you to tell you more details to see if this program is the right fit for you. So if this program sounds like it's interesting, if this sounds like something you need and want in your life right now, I want you to contact me at brian@overcominggraduation.com. That's BRIAN at overcominggraduation.com. When you contact me, you can either send me a message on social media, you can shoot me an email and say, I'm in, I want to know more about Master Your Day. I will send you a link to set up a 30-minute video call with me. We'll talk through the program. We'll see if it's right for you. And if it is, we'll talk about everything you need to do to get on board and start transforming your life starting that first day. So remember, it starts July 17th, 2019. If you're interested, don't wait. Most people hesitate. Most people think too much. Most people go, maybe I could, or, we'll see, or, I don't know. Don't hesitate. Don't flip-flop. Don't waffle. This is the moment in the day. If this sounds right for you and this resonates with you, send me the message and we will get that call scheduled straight away so we can see if this program is right for you. Now, guys, I love you all. I'm so excited to share this episode with you today. So let's get into today's episode of the Overcoming Graduation podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Graduation with Brian Drury, a show where I work to teach you everything I wished I'd known about habits and mindset to help you begin creating your dream life today. Today is another installment of the Morning Commute, where I take my ride to work in the morning to share a short but powerful message with you to help you kick your day off on the right foot. And today's message is this: action or motion. First off, for any loyal listeners of the show, you may notice that the sound quality has improved. or you might not. I honestly was thinking about this. I was like, I'm so psyched. I just got a new headset, and it's going to make my editing process so much easier. The sound is going to be clearer. But at the same time, I realized you guys get the edited version of these anyway. But I'm hoping this will improve the quality for you as well, and not just make my life easier. So, that being said, back to today's message, art of action or motion. Recently, I've been reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and before I go into the message, that book is phenomenal. I'm a little over halfway through, and I'm telling you guys, I've been reading about habits, habit formation, why we form habits, what it takes to shift mindset, all those things for years, and this is one of the most concise pieces of information I've ever seen in that. It talks about how we form habits, why we form habits, why we can't seem to get rid of habits we say we don't want, why we can't seem to implement habits that we say we do want, and on and on and on. And really covers it well, gives powerful examples, so I love it. And one of the examples from that book was when James talked about the difference between action and motion. Now, this was very, very interesting, because I've heard variations of this in the past, but I loved the examples that he gave because they really helped solidify the concept for me in my mind and helped me check in with myself and say, oh shit, where am I applying this to my detriment in my life? Because he said motion feels good. Motion feels like we're getting a lot done, but motion doesn't lead to any real tangible results. And he said, you could talk to your trainer for months about the perfect fitness regimen and the perfect diet plan, and that would be motion. You're planning, you're strategizing, getting all the details right, but until you take action, nothing's going to change. If it comes to your business, you could be planning that next product, and this is kind of a real-life example from me. I need to plan more. I need to strategize more. I need to really figure out the concept. What if I map the email sequence when really I just need to take action and build it? I already have it like 85, 90% of where I want it and need it to be. And he used a very interesting example. So in a high school classroom, he talked about a teacher split the classroom into two groups. So just imagine him going right down the middle, left side of the class, right side of the class. Left side of the class, your grade is going to be based on the quantity of pictures that you take. So you have to hit a certain number to get an A. Let's say it's 100 pictures in the semester. And then, right side of the class, your grade is going to be based on the quality of the picture you take. So left side, you just got to hit a number. Just get to up to 100. Once you got that, you got an A. Everyone on the right side of the class, you are going to have to make one exceptional photo, and your entire grade for the semester is going to be based on that one photo. Who do you think won? Because I had my assumptions. I had my thoughts. I was like, well, I know how this is going to go. And I was dead wrong. What ended up happening was this. He found the best photos by far came from the left side of the room. You see, my mistaken assumption was that the people who really took the time and the effort and were really thinking about the composition of the photo and the lighting and the structure, and maybe they would just go to this one place over and over. They wanted to get a certain sunrise scene, so they're going to take the same shot every day and then just find the best one out of all of those. But he said no. What ended up happening was these people just overthought it so much and spent so much time thinking that they either didn't act until it was late and they were like, oh shit, that's due tomorrow, or they just overthought the process, or they wished they could have done it multiple times in order to get there. The other people on the left-hand side of the room, on the other hand, were practicing their craft, and they were iterating, and they were experimenting, and they were taking massive action. People on the right may have been in motion, planning the shot, imagining the shot, deciding what would be the most impactful, what's the teacher going to want, how can I frame this up, and then going down this rabbit hole, while the people on the left were taking picture after picture and learning about how to use the film. This is back in the day. How to compose the shot. And rather than thinking about how they could compose a shot, they said, oh, okay, that didn't work. I thought that was going to work. Why didn't that work? Let me try again. Oh, okay, great. Now I'm getting that result. But now I want the lighting to be a little bit clearer. How can I either manipulate it, or how can I wait till a certain time of day? And through taking action, they learned and were able to iterate, and almost like a scientific process where you're controlling what variables you can, and then you're experimenting with one, and then as you change that one variable, you see the variance in response. And so what I loved about this was I realized there are so many areas in my life that I was getting trapped into the cycle of lots of motion with very little action, or action when necessary and needed. Where I said, I want to set up a new business banking account, but I really need to research it and look into the best ones and find. And I'm like, I already know what bank I want, and I know which account I want. So that's already done. So why am I putting in these extra barriers? When it comes to, think about any area of your life. Like, there is a product that I'm currently developing and a new challenge that I'll be issuing. And I'm not sure when that's going to be in conjunction with when this is recorded, but if it's out, you'll know about it. So that challenge that I'm putting together, it was that same thing I referenced earlier. It's like, well, I really want to think about it and put this stuff together and build this out. And it's like, do the planning. I think planning is important, but there's so much more that is learned. I think it's like creating a plan that's 80% of the way there, and then just taking massive action, and then learning as you go about what your plan didn't see, and then making quick tweaks to the plan can make a massive difference. Because if you make a plan, and again, 80% of the way, I want to work out every day this year. Every single day for 15 minutes, I want to do some form of physical activity, whether it's stretching or walking or lifting weights or doing a HIIT or Tabata workout or yoga, you name it. And if you get 80% of the way there and you're like, game time, I bet your results are going to be light years better than if you go, I want to make the perfect plan and structure it so that every day I'll pick a time frame for each day, and then it has to work exactly like this, and I have to leave work at the same time, and I can't have any interruptions or variables, so I have to really plan this thing out, and it'll be April, you won't have worked out yet, and you'll be like, man, this is hard, I don't know how to make this work, because you will never have a perfect plan. But the 80% person that's willing to learn and iterate is going to go, all right, I think I'm going to do morning workouts, and that starts going great, but then all of a sudden they realize Wednesday and Thursday, they have to be in earlier to work because of a certain report they got to get done. Then they go, okay, so Wednesday and Thursday, I'll go to the gym at lunch. Cool. Now they've tweaked, recalibrated on the plan. Now it's acting the plan. Because the action is where real shifts come in our life. The action is where our mindset shifts. The action is where our behavior shifts. The action is where our habits shift. And notice all those things come together. It's that your mindset about it, first it has to be possible in your mind, or you have to be at least willing to try, even if you're skeptical about whether or not it'll work. And then you take different action associated with it, with that new mindset, with that new plan that you've created. And so your behavior starts to change. And then over time, through repeated behavioral recalibration, you're able to have a new habit take hold. Like anything else, it needs to be reinforced and continually reinforced. Because I'll do another episode about what James says about how long it takes to create a habit, because that's a real good topic. And I know there's a lot of curiosity about that. And I will say, and I'm going to do something that I know is one of those techniques on the internet to get you to listen more, but it's not what you think. I know we've heard a lot of things about how long it takes to implement a habit, but it is not what you think. So, that is going to be all for today. So I'd like for you to imagine an area in your life where you could be applying this principle. Where are you stuck in motion or totally in action? And the one thing that you really need is some action. I know it hit me in a big way in one area of my life recently. And as soon as I saw that and I talked to a mentor and got recalibrated, dude, the world looks totally different. So what's one area in your life where you're stuck in motion, and what's one action you could take today to get back on the right track? All right, guys, I love you all. Thank you all for listening today. It has been an honor to share this time with you. And if you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or on Stitcher or on Google Play to make sure you get the most up-to-date episodes as soon as they come out. If you have not already, be sure to, I was about to repeat the exact same thing. I've said this so many times that it kind of is like going into autopilot when I get into the intro and outro. But if you would like to reach out to me to contact me for speaking engagements, to give me a question about the show or a topic you'd like me to cover, please feel free to reach out to me at brian@overcominggraduation.com. That's BRIAN@overcominggraduation.com. I love you guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for being a part of the show. And I'll be talking to you again real soon.